Captain Insano shows no mercy.
Straight cash, homie.
Hold on to your butts.
Welcome back to the Basic Monsters podcast on Sports Zone Chicago. Bears offense sucks ass. The Chicago Bears lose to the Tennessee Titans with a final score of 24-17, and it wasn't even that close.
No,
it wasn't that close. Two garbage time touchdowns. The Tennessee Titans pretty much. You know what they did? They played Chuck Pagano defense. Chuck Pagano at the end of half defense. That prevent defense on the Chicago Bears, and that's why they were able to move the ball late in the game and score those two touchdowns. They were not allowing them to do shit prior to that, and honestly, they did exactly what we thought, Marco. They started getting Derrick Henry running. He started taking that one big gain before their final touchdown, and it was pretty much a wrap.
I mean, it was absolutely pretty much we displayed the Titans displayed what we talked about, at halftime as far as like feeding Derrick Henry the ball. He moved, he did his job, moved the ball, up the field. Pretty much took the Bears out of it. I mean, at no point did the Bears show any sign of life. I mean, every time they made any sort of progress, I mean, there was a fumble, right there towards late in the game where they really needed that possession.
They kill you. The compound mistakes. Sorry, good.
No. After you.
So the compound mistakes, like you said, it's just like how do and I'm not going to give I'm not going to give the players that much flack for it because you're trying to make a play. Even Anthony Miller in that fumble, you're still trying to make a fucking play because you're down, because you've been put in this situation for the first half, the entire first half. You couldn't move the rock.
Yeah,
you couldn't move the ball.
Somebody's showing a fight. And it's happening a bad thing. Like he's showing a fight. Like I'm going. I'm trying to get here.
He's trying to, but it's he's showing the fight. But you know what? The rest of the team isn't, and it sucks, man. It sucks every time we see this out of the Chicago Bears. It's been game after game, and it started with that Colts game.
Mm-hmm.
They get down when they get down on a good team. They don't give a shit. They're done. They pack it in.
Check out.
They get down on a good team. They pack it in. They check out. It's almost like going through. I honestly believe it's going through the motions, regardless of their how many comebacks they had this year. I don't give a shit. You came back on trash teams. You're not coming back on this team. You didn't come back on the team last week, and you didn't come back on the Colts. So you cannot come back on good teams. You come back on shitty teams. And the thing is, for me, it's like, who do you blame now? Where do you go? Where do you point the finger at now if you're Matt Nagy?
There's nowhere. You point the finger right here.
Yeah.
Right here. Listen what you just said. You come back on this team, you don't come back on these teams. Listen, you have a good enough defense to keep you in a game regardless.
Right.
It doesn't matter. That defense is good enough to keep you in a game. Your failures are on the offensive side of the ball. You can't have the defense out there that long. You can't have them out there 40 minutes out of a 60-minute game. You're going to lose every time. They're going to get tired. When you can't generate offense, which is what you're supposedly supposed to be, Mr. Nagy Ball.
It's a joke. It's a fucking.
You're not going to win games.
It's a joke, Luke. It's a jojoke. Like I said, remember when we started the halftime, or when we were in the middle of the halftime show, and I pointed out once they started the second half,
right?
The opening kickoff was a pooch.
Right.
They pooched the opening kickoff of the second half because they knew that Matt Nagy's offense isn't shit. It's not going to be doing anything against them, and they could stop them right there and then. It doesn't matter who they had out there on the line.
Disrespect.
It doesn't matter who they had out there on the line. I don't care. I don't care because the opportunity was there at 10-0. Because it was 10-0 the entire fucking game. So the opportunity was there. You didn't seize the moment. You continue to put your team in bad spots with some of the play design, some of the play calling. I'm telling you, dude, it's the same shit every week with Matt Nagy.
I mean, I giving my take on it, from my perspective, or what I saw, from these two teams today. Adding to that, the Bears had 319 passing yards. I mean, just to add to what you were saying right now, that's Tennessee's way of saying, you know what, we'll let you move the ball up, but we know what you're gonna do.
Yep.
And we're not gonna let you, and you're not gonna, you're not gonna score on here.
They played prevent defense on them.
The new guy, the new guy, got him one.
Desmond King. Making us, making us
fella.
what a way.
I believe he's an Iowa Hawkeye. I'm pretty sure Miles.
But I mean, right now,
Miles should love that Desmond King being an Iowa Hawkeye.
Right
even though he did score on the Bears.
Right now, if you're tipsy, you're like, told you.
Yeah.
Oh,
absolutely.
Told you.
Oh, no doubt.
Told you.
No doubt.
This is the other saddest thing about Chicago. You just played a Tennessee defense that didn't even have Jadeveon Clowney.
Nope.
If Jadeveon Clowney was there, guess what? It's ugly.
It's ugly. You had your backups beating our starters because you're beating Leno, beating Coward. These guys are starting. They've started before. They're consistently beating them, and it's embarrassing the way they were doing it. It was just like they weren't even there. The defensive line for the Tennessee Titans, just any type of slight move. It didn't have to be. You don't have to be fucking Michael Strahan out there to get to that quarterback this game. And honestly, look at who it is. Culprit. I mean, the main culprit, Charles Leno Jr. Charles Leno Jr. had an interview, I believe it was this past week or something, where they asked him about how he felt about his play this year. Right? Asked him about his play this year, and the audacity of this man to say that he thinks he's been playing pretty well. Pretty well is half the time you're making your block. Right now, 70% of the time you're on your ass or you don't have a clue on where you're running.
Well, here's the thing. I think he was talking about practice.
Practice?
He was playing pretty well in practice.
Practice? Practice. They look good in practice. Just like Mitch looks good in practice.
Oh, he's
just
great.
Just like Mitch looks great in practice.
Mitch is Joe Montana in practice.
Mitch is smoking Joe Montana in practice.
In the classroom, man, that guy's won us fucking 8 games.
In the classroom, he's a Super Bowl champ, but he can't fucking do diddly squat on the field, and it's embarrassing.
Right,
this is embarrassing. This is embarrassing.
Hey.
I don't know what else, how else to say it, but it's something's got to give. You're on the hot seat, man, Aggie. From here on out, your job is in jeopardy. Your job. No. Like I said, he had to win the game. And then he's A-okay. Right now, that chair that Matt Nagy's sitting in is in fuego. Yeah. That shit is lit. That is on fire times 10 because your offense, for a majority, 75% of the game, could only muster up a 3 spot. Trey points. Trey fucking points. You, Matt Nagy, you're a carpetbagger. You swindled us. You sold us the fool's gold, and I'm not buying this shit anymore.
You should have been buying it for a long time. Like
I haven't,
dude. Like even last year. Like we sit here, we did this shit last year, and we were talking about this. And that's where the fucking Nagy ball came in.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Nagy
ball does not work. And like I said, I don't remember what we were listening to or who it was. But I wish I could give him credit for it, but I can't remember who it was. But when I heard the statement of Matt Nagy doesn't care about the team, and he's standing on the sideline with his face in his playbook. That's all he's doing. He's not doing. He doesn't care about what this player is saying.
I can't handle.
He's doing. I'm in my playbook.
I don't think he can handle this team.
But I think that says a lot. I think that says a lot about him. Is that he's trying to find that play in Madden when you're down. You know what I mean? 14 points, and you need to come back. He's always trying to find that play, and it's like why.
Why don't we have plays lined up?
Why aren't you playing like? I don't understand why like guys like Miller or even Mooney. Why are you not? I haven't seen hardly any drag plays. Like let's run a drag. Let's do this. Don't have to be Jimmy Grant, even though you should have went to him more today. But there's no drag play. Like there's nothing short. Like it's all this fancy up the field shit.
Bells and whistles.
You don't have the clientele. Or I'm sorry, not the clientele. The personnel to run that shit.
It's true, Luke. It's true. He continues to want to. He wants to have this big. Oh, boom! I know this play was going to do it because there's a playmaker out there, but that's not the playmaker that's going to make that play, dude.
Exactly.
He's not. You don't. First of all, you don't have the blocking to do
Well, it
it.
works with Tyreek.
You don't have the discipline. You don't have the blocking, and you don't have the personnel, dog. It is sad every time I see this Bears defense march right back out there because it's like they have like this tattered warrior mentality.
Mm-hmm.
They have this tattered warrior look where they're just, again, all right, we got to go to work. Again, we got to go to work. Again, we got to go to work. The defense is so tired and tattered. It's exhausting watching them. It's exhausting watching them get up and down from the fucking bench right after they just got themselves off the field.
Yeah. Oh, we're going back again.
We're going back again because coach can't figure out how to score points. To me, it's you're burning talent on that defense. You're burning a Super Bowl. You're burning time. A Super Bowl caliber defense. You're burning careers. You're burning careers because you can't figure out how to run a simple offense. Keep it simple, stupid, and maybe things might just open up.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And then you get fancy. Once you have somebody like catering to you and what you're doing, like I'm running the ball right at you, bang, 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 bang. Then you're gonna force them to do something, and then once they do something, you've got to be that guy to understand. Like, listen, they just threw 8 in the box, 9 in the box last down. Boom. Now let's go. But guess what? Until you get that done, you can't be calling plays like that,
Luke,
because they're making Nick Foles beat them where he can't beat them.
Yeah, exactly.
By throwing the ball.
Exactly.
That's the point.
You and I have talked about it ad nauseum. And Marco, we had mentioned the same thing too. It's almost as like Matt Nagy, like he gets to this point where it's like, all right, big situation. I got to prove that I have the right perfect play. Right. I got to prove it's perfect. I got to prove it's almost like this BU thing shows up. It shows up every single time in a major situation. And it's become a problem. It hasn't worked. This I call the plays hasn't worked. Matt Nagy, you got to give it up to save your job. At least you got to give it up.
Yeah. What's gonna hurt? I mean, that's the question. You're Chicago Bears. You have a head coach, Matt Nagy. Gong ho calling plays. Mm-hmm. You have an offensive coordinator. What the fuck is he there for? That's the one thing about the Chicago Bears that I do not understand. If Matt Nagy is going to have this holy, hey, it's this.
Yep.
And perfect example. Perfect example. When the dude Wims hit the dude on the Saints shit, all the players went down to a section of the field. Guess who was fucking corralling them? Was it fucking Matt Nagy? It was the offensive coordinator. Why do you think that is? There's something to be said about Matt Nagy in Chicago, and it was apparent. Hold on, let me finish my shit.
I haven't even said anything yet.
Last week, or no, I'm sorry, not last week. Last season, I've been hammering on that dude. It's Nagy. And everybody's like, no, I know. But this year, it's a hell of a lot more. But I told you last year, and I'm not even a Chicago Bears fan, but I can fucking see it. It's Nagy. It's fucking Nagy. Like, look at early in the game, down the sideline, Jimmy Graham, huge catch.
Went away.
Well, we'll put him back in the third quarter. Or I mean, maybe you put him in, whatever. But like, you're not using the weapons that you have. He's trying to use the weapons that aren't developed. Yeah, that's the problem. You have the weapons they're fucking Pro Bowlers. Cole Kmet, he's not a Pro Bowl. He's a
Jimmy Graham, you got Allen Robinson. You have players to make plays.
But you're making plays for guys that aren't proven.
Exactly. No, you're making plays for guys that aren't there. Exactly. You're making plays for guys that aren't there. You're making plays for guys that don't have that talent. I want to jump over to the Tennessee Titans. Mm-hmm. Huge win. I mean, huge win. It was good for ever. It was good for motivation. I'm not motivated. Good for what was it? What am I thinking about?
It's momentum.
Momentum. Thank you, Jesus. Momentum. Good for momentum going continuing out throughout the season. Because man, that defense came alive. Whoever was backing up, because you were out, JV and Conley, Jadeveon Clowney's backup has to have some type of momentum going into the next game.
Yeah.
Because look what they did.
Oh, they got all the
Even
momentum.
with a makeshift line, that gets you going. That gets your blood because you're after it. You're getting after it. And even if it's against who it is, you're still playing football. You're still getting after it. And they kept getting home. They kept getting home. And honestly, they were the better team, hands down.
And I mean, absolutely. And I mean, what a game to walk into for. I mean, personally, I mean, for John Robinson, general manager. I mean, he made quite a statement, cutting Vic Beasley this week and saying, "Hey, we're not, I made a mistake. We move on from it.
Yeah.
Whatever." They bring in they bring in Robeson, they bring in Wyatt Ray, obviously,
King.
To cover. They bring in Desmond King. They trade for Desmond King. And I mean, from the get-go, I mean, when we were talking about this pregame, I said, "Hey, is Chicago going to challenge that Bears second, or that Titans secondary?" The Bears challenged it. I mean, the secondary at the end of the day, they had some big plays for the team, got them the victory. But at the end, looking at both sides today, Matt Nagy, from the looks of it, just played his game and like many teams in the past before the Titans defense figures that out. When you know what's gonna happen, when you know the play that's gonna happen and you run it anyway, the Titans capitalize on that, and that's what good football teams do.
Dude, let me just expand on what you're saying. Like, perfect example, like additions. Desmond King. So let's look at the Tennessee secondary. Desmond King, Kenny Vaccaro, Malcolm Butler.
Malcolm Butler.
How much experience
Ton.
do you have right there in between those three guys? And then let's not he didn't play today, but you throw up Jadeveon Clowney a level ahead of him.
Mm-hmm.
Like that Tennessee team is these aren't the guys, minus Jadeveon, because he gets a lot of star power, whatever. But you got to understand, like, these guys, the other guys, Malcolm Butler, one of the biggest games ever, comes up to play.
Yeah.
Mad Kenny Vaccaro, how many he's been on Super Bowl teams.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this guy has the knowledge. And now you added Desmond King. And Desmond King, he just validated you're signing him today.
Yeah.
Picks it up, doop, gone.
Yeah.
Bye.
It was the turnovers were just killer. It seemed like guys are just trying to do too much because they're frustrated with how shit is running.
No, I think you're starting to see it.
Yeah, you're frustrated. You're starting to see the frustration. Guys are trying to do too much out in the field. Now they're going to go ahead and, after committing, a couple of egregious turnovers, that's going to be in the psyche. Like, the psyche of this team is in purgatory right now.
Yeah.
Like, they don't know where they are. They don't know what they are. They don't know how they're going to. I wholeheartely believe they don't understand how they're going to get out of this situation. They don't understand because other than the draft, other than the winning in the draft, they're like, what are you going to do? Throw money at guys? There's no way. There's no way that's going to work. Ryan Pace screwed up multiple times, multiple years on multiple first round draft picks.
Every draft
on
pick.
every first round draft pick besides Roquan Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Those first round draft picks besides Mr. Trubisky and Roquan Smith, two of those first round draft picks are not on this team, and we're expected that Mitch Trubisky is going to be gone at season's end. And you know what? To be honest with you, it's all Ryan Pace. You screwed the pooch, my brother. You screwed the pooch. That's flat out. You didn't have the wherewithal to understand that you needed, instead of telling us this, instead of giving us lip service, you needed to absolutely draft the best player available. You needed to absolutely draft a quarterback every year. Like you said, you haven't done anything that you've promised coming into this relationship with the Chicago Bears. And to be honest with you, if this organization continues to stand up for these two, in Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace, I'm going to lose faith in the organization because these guys clearly are in over their heads and are trying to do everything their way instead of toning in on what is best for the team. It all has to be their design, by their image. It's all has to be created in Ryan Pace and Matt Nagy's image, and the image is ugly.
Yeah, dude, they have nothing. I mean, they have nothing. Like, let's look at the Bears last pick. You got Kevin White. What else you got? Trubisky. Who else you got? You got the lineman. But anyway, they're three or four last upper echelon. I'm not going to say first round. Upper echelon picks are fucking garbage, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking not just trash, garbage.
Bad.
Straight garbage.
Bad.
San Francisco doesn't have anybody else on their team. They're starting to shoot up coaches with pads, like get out there, catch a pass, and they still wouldn't put in Kevin White. What does that tell you? I mean, I 100%. Like I'll talk a hell. You know, I love to talk shit about Nagy, but I'll tell you what. Also, it's pace. It is pace. It is pace. I can't say it enough. It is Ryan Pace, and I don't give a damn what the Bears end up. I don't care if the Bears even end up winning the NFC North. I don't care. Both of those guys have to be gone. That is a duo that is just not gonna get it done.
Garpax?
I mean,
It's Garpax? Is it Garpax?
Yeah,
You know,
I mean,
Garpax?
that's what I'm saying.
All right, guys. We're gonna go ahead and
You want to shoot up?
yeah. Shoot off the scores from around the league. We're gonna go ahead and jump into this Cardinals Dolphins game as soon as Luke gets done riddling these off. But you know what? You're absolutely right. Ryan Pace,
He's got to go.
hasn't set the pace.
Hey,
He hasn't set the pace. He hasn't hit. He hasn't. It's just being honest with who you're working for. It's being honest with the fan base. You're not like you're saying both of them, Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace. They're politicians. They're saying the best thing possible to get to maintain where their position. It's exactly that. How many times are we going to hear Matt Nagy? Oh, you know what? We're this close. We're going to do this. Well, and then not only that, when he's asked tough questions, he wants to break it down in such an arrogant way. Yeah. But he wants to break it down in such an arrogant way to where I feel like it's condescending.
mm-hmm.
Like,
It is.
like I'm not a fucking idiot, sir.
It is.
Like I understand that, sir. Why isn't it working?
Yeah.
Why isn't your offense working?
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is, man. We're gonna go ahead. Yeah.
Let me
We're
get
gonna go ahead and
these
read off
sports.
these
Sports
scores.
in here. So we got Pittsburgh and Dallas 0-0, but that's going to end up about 35-0. Then we got the Raiders on top of the Chargers with Booker, first TD this season. Dolphins Cardinals. Where's it going to go? Still 0-0-0. It's that's going to be a close one there. We know the Packers whooped up on the 49ers. Lions hung in there for a second. 34-20 Vikings.
Damn.
Jaguars Texans.
27-25 Houston.
Oh, wow.
Panthers, boy. I told you.
Close.
McCaffrey coming back to that team.
It makes a huge difference.
Watch this. I would not be surprised if later in the season it's Tampa on top, but Carolina sitting right behind them.
Mm-hmm.
Go to wild card. Go to wild card.
Hey, with where?
Well, they don't have to be
well,
right
the
now.
way-
They could be number 3 because
Right.
because
They got
the
the seven-
extended
yeah.
because the extended playoff spot.
But they also put one up on the Saints, I think. You know what I mean? Like, so that's going to be crazy. So then you got the Ravens. Wow. 24-10. Baltimore, 20-plus points in 31 straight NFL games.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Falcons decided they want to play today.
Oh, did they?
34-27 against Denver.
Oh, they didn't give it up?
They didn't give it up. And shocker. I mean, I'm doing this. I don't want to say what it means, but this is what it is. Buffalo Bills, 44. Seattle Seahawks, 34.
We were nowhere close.
We talked about it. We talked about a close one. We talked about a close one.
We talked about
Yes,
a close
yes,
one.
we did.
Wow. And then we know the outcome of the Bears Titans. But my guys, and I told you it was going to be a close game, but they're going to pull it out. The Giants beat the Washington football team 23-20. Rams, Bengals, Eagles, Browns on a bye. Stick by. We're going to give you that good stuff. And
Coming on Monday night. Oh, well, coming after this at halftime of the Dolphins and the Cardinals. Yes, thank you. And after that, we'll be getting to the Bucks and the Saints. Well, Marco, thank you for coming, brother.
Thank you for having me.
It was fun. It was fun, even though the Bears lost. It was fun having you. We had a blast. You had great insight throughout. It was good having you. If you ever want to come back on, just hit me up. You feel free to just mosey on in.
Can't wait to come back. Can't wait to come back.
Yeah, awesome.
It's always nice to have a buffer when this guy starts having aneurysms.
Hey man, I
expect
expect you to be a professional athlete.
One of these days, I'm just gonna do nothing but like just sit back with my phone and record you watching the Bears game, and I'm gonna put it out there.
You should. You should.
Because it is something to see.
Sometimes
the definition
of a basement monster.
Yeah.
There it is.
Sometimes that is more entertaining than some of the shit we say out here.
You gotta love the brutal honesty, though. I mean, I think when you see it in person, you're just kind of like, you got to take it for what it is. I mean, you like the brutal honesty, man.
Awesome stuff, man. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and get out of here until halftime of the Dolphins Cardinals. Marco is going to go ahead and take off, but we're gonna come back to you guys at the halftime of that game. For Luke Nettles and Marco Velasquez, I'm Ivan Vargas, and Marcus is in the background. This has been the Basement Monsters podcast on Sports Zone Chicago. Check us out at the halftime of Cardinals and the Dolphins.
Captain Insano shows no mercy.
Straight cash, homie.
Hold on to your butts.
I just heard my favorite band is in town. I'd love to get good seats, but everywhere I've looked, the ticket sites have crazy service fees.
Haven't you heard of TixSplits?
Who?
TixSplits. They don't gouge you with crazy fees. The price they advertise is the price you pay, plus a small delivery fee.
Never pay service fees again. Go to TixSplits.com today. TixSplits.com. Guaranteed seats, low prices. That's TixSplits.com. Every ticket, every venue, everywhere.